Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with the Ghost in the Shell episode number 2 reaction. Right, the previous episode it was the beginning of the show and yeah, we met the main character Motoko and yeah, we got to see like what the whole it's like a cyberpunk type of like an anime which obviously like everybody knows. But it was my first time watching Ghost in the Shell. Like I haven't watched anything like any of the other stuff as well. I've not read the manga, I've not read the other movies, and this is like my first exposure to the anime in itself. And yeah, knowing that this is apparently following the source material, yeah, the first episode was pretty good. It is a little bit, I would say, kind of overwhelming for a bit, but I'm assuming that will little by little kind of uh kind of fix itself as I keep watching, because I understood this show is one of those shows where they kind of give you everything, and little by little, like you yourself will be able to understand. Like at first, you might be confused a little bit with the sheer amount of information that they're giving, but like as we keep watching and everything, we'll understand. We'll kind of like get to know the terms, their meanings, and all the other stuff. They'll like explain it themselves, and we'll understand it eventually. So yeah, either way, first episode was very good. We got to see like Motoko go in that facility, and a lot of like things. She saved that kid and shut that whole place down. All those things, and yeah. So let's see what the second episode is. Let's get started. I'll put the timer over here. Sync the timer to the video that you're watching, and yeah, watch it alongside my reaction. Let's get started. Okay, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. What the hell? Oh, this guy. Oh, he's here. Hmm. Return. Well, obviously, he punched him in the. Was it was by the national? What? Oh, Shell Squad. Meritocracy with no rank. Interesting. Oh damn, he brought the papers and everything. Okay. Right. It's gone wrong thing was total. Yeah. No, don't. Oh my god. I used to. Yeah, you're screwed now. Well, I guess he thought that. Oh, wait. Well, he knew that they were going to pull something like this. Wow. Right. 3 months later. Okay. Damn. July 27, 2029. Jungle. It's freaking hot. Damn, this extra detailed insect. Pressure sensors and Gorgon land. Oh, damn. Oh, they realized. That is crazy. You extinguish your cigar in the. Hey, is this Motoko? Okay, never mind. What is that? Water? Tampering with every terminal. Only remember. That's damn. Oh my god. Yeah. Well, she's on vacation, so. But yeah, damn. What the hell? What is? Well, I forget sometimes. It's 2029. Super futuristic. Okay, what? Yeah, what's going on? All right. Well, a phone call is going to come anytime. Oh, he tried to connect with her. Oh, here we go. Wait. So she was. Oh, I thought they were actually okay. In like a bro. Right. Interpreter's condition has been stabilized. Not very important. Called treatment. Interpreter. Oh. Oh. To us. Hmm. Hmm. Damn. Well, who knows? Hmm. Yeah, created doing non-nuclear. Okay. Personality hijack. Right. Personality hijacker. Wow. Hmm. Damn, all these crows are like, oh, right. Wow. Whoa. Damn, he's not. Old guy. But, damn, they're like, oh, right. Well, something. Well, yep. Well, yeah, why? Hmm. Hmm. Oh, these, I forgot their names. What are they called? I doubt that. They literally said that. What are they throwing out? Bricks? Intent about the movie. The hotel. Okay. Hmm. Barrier breaker. Hmm. Here we go. Well, okay. Well, ah, yeah. Well, they're already here. Well, no. Oh, yo! Oh my god. Damn. All right. Wait, what? Oh, damn. That's a crazy place to end that. All right. Okay. Right, and there you go. That was today's episode. So today we had a new mission where we had to. So, so this whole, like, like this that girl that we saw, she was being hacked by this one. Now I'm trying to understand. There's a few things that I am kind of like a little bit unclear about. Again, like, like a lot of these information that they're giving out, they kind of like, you can kind of understand it, but at the same time, like, it's I don't know, it's like not completely clear. Like, you have to kind of figure it out as it keeps going. um right, so Motoko and, like, that guy, what's his name, that other guy, they were tasked to track this this guy down, who was, like, going to the different places and, like, calling, like, for 5 minutes or something, as they were talking about, and doing that. And now, as far as I could understand, that guy from the garbage, like the collector, that the guy who was uh what do you call it, who was driving the car, he so this is one thing that I'm unclear about. So, was he being hacked, or like, something, because there was a certain section that they kind of showed where he was talking, like, where the other guy was, like, looking at him weird, and he's like, damn, like, he's talking in a weird way. And then he was kind of talking, like, in a very robotic manner. So I'm assuming that was a section where he was being manipulated, and then that's why he kind of, like, took a turn as soon as they realized that that guy is in danger, to, like, warn them. He took a turn and, went and warned that guy. And when the garbage truck completely flipped, he came to his senses, and he was like, oh, what's happening? That part. So this is the one part that I'm not clear about. Like, I'm assuming that they were kind of, like, hacking him for that moment, or something like that was going on. Okay, you know what? Let me just check something. Hmm. Uh, so, right, so here we go. I'm just reading, like, a little synopsis of this. Uh, so the synopsis of episode 2 is: Kusanagi and her team expect to be dissolved after the stunt with the minister. However, Aramaki arrives and reveals he maneuvered the event so that team will fall under his sole control and will only have to answer directly to the prime minister, while the orphans have now taken control of the orphanage but are having difficulty in keeping it running. Like, we saw that. And then we have, several months later, the team is tasked with spying on a former officer from the Gavel Republic, Colonel Malice, in hopes of finding a lead on a mysterious hacker nicknamed the Puppet Master. Aramaki meets with the foreign minister, who warns that the diplomatic situation between Japan and the Gavel Republic is delicate, as the government must decide to either support Malice and his deposed junta, who control the country's valuable platinum depots, or the democratic government that is now in power. Aramaki um, briefs Kusanagi that they discovered the foreign minister's interpreter. Okay, wait a minute. So, this part. So, the Gavel Republic Colonel Malice, spying on the former officer. Okay. Meeting the foreign minister that the diplomat. Yeah, okay. So, Aramaki briefs Kusanagi that they discovered the foreign minister's interpreter was infected with personality hijacking virus. Yeah, and he is using her as a bait to track down the hacker responsible. Okay, yeah, we saw that. Kusanagi and Togusa, that's his name, head to the city to find the hacker. It is revealed that the hacker is using the interpreter's estranged husband as a garbage man. Oh, wait. So that, okay, that I didn't clock that. As a patsy to carry out the hacking. Wait, so it is revealed that the hacker. Wait, when did they reveal that? Or did I just miss it? It is revealed that the hacker is using the interpreter's strange husband, a garbage man, as a patsy to carry out the hacking. Kusanagi and Togusa manage to track them down, but the hacker flees. Togusa is not unconscious. Wait, what? Okay, did I just miss that? When did they reveal that? Okay, yeah, this is what I was saying. Like a lot of information in this show is just like it's like so packed together that it's quite difficult. Like you're trying to figure out what they're talking about, and then like I'm guessing like information like this gets just slips out of your head. Uh, hacker is using the interpreter's trained husband. I guess okay, so I'm guessing you have to kind of figure this out, like because like there were hints. He was talking about how his wife is thinking that like that he's like cheating on her, but she's the one. It seems like she's as he said that it seems like she's the one. Like at least he thought that she was the one who was doing the cheating, but then like they also talked about how she also talked about how they were like kind of like not talking and estranged and all that. Where's that part? Okay, here it is. Yeah, so here we go. She wants a divorce out of the blue and refuses to see me. Maybe so, but I'm amazed you got your hands on a barrier breaker. I met a nice guy at my favorite watering hole. When he heard that I was stuck collecting garbage all day, he offered to leave the barrier breakers along my route for me. Okay, now here's another thing. What the hell is a barrier breaker? Like these information, unless they give it to me, I won't be able to understand. Like I might be able to kind of like from the name I might be able to kind of think like, oh, it's something like like because an attack barrier like it's pretty obvious, as they mentioned in multiple times. Like they use it to kind of, it's like a like it's like when you're trying to get to your ghost, you can use your attack barrier to kind of like counter attack or something. It's something like that. But what is a barrier breaker? Is it what breaks that barrier? Is that what a barrier breaker, like these type of information, like you like I don't understand. That's why this whole conversation, half of the things I cannot put my finger on what he's talking about, and that's why a lot of the things like it's unclear to me. So he offered to leave the barrier breakers alone. Now this dude, as he's talking about, like this guy who he met, this nice guy, as he says, met at like a local pub or whatever, like a watering hole. um he get so and it's pretty obvious here that here he is being hacked, I'm assuming, or something is going on, because like I guess when this other dude was asking him like, oh, where did you get your hands on that, like he automatically took control of him, I'm assuming, because he didn't want him to leak something or like make some comment which makes it seem like suspicious. So he took over here and he's talking in his stead and saying like, oh, it's just a nice guy who offered to leave this with me, so that this guy doesn't like reveal something. Like now here's the thing, I'm assuming this guy obviously has no idea like what is going on. Like he, as he says, he just met this dude and he gave him this like thing, and like he's clueless, you know so that's why I'm guessing the hacker guy, he, or maybe is he clueless, I'm not sure. This hacker guy, he kind of like took over here so that he just doesn't accidentally leak something. Okay, that's a pathetic sob story, man. And yeah, his face is like, her lawyer wouldn't let me see her. Okay, here's the thing, I need to figure this out. Like, was he being like manipulated, or is he actually like helping out the other guy? Like, I think he was being manipulated because later on, as you can see, or I don't know, like he goes and he's like, hey, you're in danger, and then that dude is like, the hacker dude, he sees the two those things where Motoko and the other dude is here, and he's like, "Oh, you sold me out. You ratted me out." So since he said that, now I'm thinking maybe he knew he was actually working with him. He wasn't being manipulated. Otherwise, why the hell would he say that you ratted me out? Like, you know. But then the next part again confuses me because he shoots them. Togusa gets knocked out, and then these two like fall on their head, like the truck kind of falls, and the guy who was driving, he's suddenly like, "Oh, what just happened?" So this makes me think that he was actually unaware of what's going on, or was it that he's just talking about like what just happened, like how did the car explode? So this is the one part that I'm kind of confused about. Was he being manipulated, or was he like actually working together with him? Like there's like contradictory like things that kind of contradicts each, like not contradicts, but like like scenes that kind of makes me think like no. For example, like I said, like that dude says like, "Oh, you ratted me out," which kind of makes me think that he's actually working together with him, like he knew, you know. But then at the same time, a few scenes are making me think like maybe he didn't knew, because it seems like he was being manipulated or something, or he was being like, I don't know. Okay, you know what? Let me see. Can I find a better synopsis? Uh, okay, episode 2. Okay, I found one. Let me see. This explains it. Okay, so for a show that moves so quickly, linger on the garbage and for a few more beats, and then okay, they deal with a massive load of trash and it's cutting glass and stabbing needles. The one garbage man who will learn is a puppet. Ah, okay, here we go. This explains it. Grumbles about his former. Okay, so he was a puppet. All right. About his former employment, like puppet, like I'm guessing like he's being like manipulated, yeah. About his former employment at the Sacred Citizen Relief Center, more than provides community to the okay. Hmm. Okay, no, this doesn't explain anything. Okay, the interpreter was meant to sit in on the secret meeting, but she was infected by the HA3 virus, which was difficult to trace. Assumption is that Puppet Master would have used an interpreter to kill someone at the meeting. So outdated. Its use was likely meant to keep suspicions off of Malice. No, this is not a good article. I need like a like a synopsis, like a not something that. No, well, I cannot find not a single article that has a like a synopsis. What the hell? Well, nothing. Hmm. Well, I'm still kind of yeah. Not a single article that actually has a synopsis. What the hell? Yeah, there's nothing. Every article that I'm seeing has like a whole like. Okay, you know what? We have freaking AI nowadays. Let's just episode 2 synopsis. Nothing. Great. Well, I guess there's not enough. Yeah. Well, anyways, yeah, I couldn't figure out. I couldn't find like a proper article which kind of explains exactly what happened. But right. Anyways, so yeah, one thing that I was able to understand from these articles is that apparently this lady's like his wife, like that. I didn't get at all from the episode. I couldn't understand that at all. Like, but you know, if you think about it, I guess it kind of makes sense because they were kind of like talking, like, like. But yeah, either way, main thing is basically, so okay, you know what? Let me just read this section. So when Motoko comes in, yeah, so Motoko comes in and she's like, looks at the girl, the lady who's like being hacked. She's a foreign minister's interpreter. She's like, I know that because she and our Togusa used to be close. Right. So then 23 minutes ago, a virus got into her. Okay. Uh, we're currently tracing the location of whoever sent it. How did they learn she's been infected? Information beats all. Our culprit loves to be on the move. He changes location, and every 7 minutes, he accesses her for 5 seconds. Yeah? So until we catch the guy, she's literally on the hook helping us like this. What's the virus that's trying to reach her ghost? Okay, yeah. So she talks about the model HA3. So we have little over 2 hours. Ishka and Boma are tracing the hacker's location by car. Join them. Okay. Okay. So Togusa says, so Major, I heard something from Miami from the public securities on. No, no, not this part. Okay, here he talks about like the guns and everything, right? Yeah, yeah. They talk about the guns and everything. Okay, let's move on. Like I. Okay, here we go. This part. We're just tracking the hacker who got the foreign minister's interpreter. So Togo-san's like, we're using her as a, yeah, because obviously as Motoko said, like he kind of knew her before. Don't worry, we'll cut the line before the HA3 can reach her ghost. Hmm. We have to locate the perp before then. Okay, so HA3, military AI created during non-nuclear World War IV, something like that. What sort of virus is it? So-called personality hijacker type, harmless by itself, but once its genome is assembled, it springs into action. If it were the latest model, it would have been incubation period and would have been impossible to trace. So it's good that it's not. Yeah. Don't worry about it. Whatever happens, she'll walk away unharmed. Why would anyone want to infect her with something like that now? I understand how you feel, but they get in the way, so okay, so yeah. Yeah. Yeah, okay, and then we have the dude with the phone. Okay, All right, so this explains it. He was working with him. Like I thought that he was being manipulated because there was a section where it seemed like he was being hacked or something. Anyways, so yeah, okay, so I kind of missed this part, I guess. He took the, he kind of like that thing, put it in the, slides it. Yeah, okay, so there you go, upload complete, and he gets up. Okay, so all right, now this clears a few things up for me. That part where he was talking like that mechanically, I thought he was like, like being somehow like something was going on, but no, I guess he kind of like switched completely over there because he didn't want to leak something. So he was like talking like robotically like that, completely like, oh, like, Now, here's the thing. I'm assuming he was being blackmailed because, like I said, I didn't know that that was his wife. So that's why maybe the hacker was like blackmailing him and telling him like, oh, you have to do this, otherwise, like something like that, I'm assuming. I don't know. Like, anyways, they don't say anything like that, but it is possible, I guess, if you think about it. How many days have you been sleeping in the office? I don't even know. Thanks to this job, I barely recognize my kid, and my wife is shouting that she wants a divorce. Thinks I'm stepping out on her. She's the one who's acting suspiciously. Alright, so they come to the next area. Yeah, and then he kind of panics later. He's like, oh, we have to. There's. I have to make it to the next traffic light or we'll be late. Because I guess he's on the clock. He has to do this like 7 minutes, like as they explain. Every 7 minutes, like for like how many seconds? Like they have to like that's what they were doing. So he's like, oh, we have to get this. Okay, so here's another thing. Alright, so Aramaki here says, Kusanagi, are you listening? Remember how when we were at flat 17, Nakajima wanted to take over? Yeah, that dude who was kind of, kind of from the side, like looking at them when Motoko and they were talking about the whole section. Wanted to take over the case. Malice received a call from him. He seems to be selling off platinum through fake companies. Okay, that girl, we're maintaining her as it is, as is. I don't want to tip our hand. Yeah, and then we have those little things. I forgot what they call them. Call them. Okay, so a few other information here. Motoko says, if she had been under the HA3's control, the Gavel Republic's representative probably would have been killed at the secret meeting. Yeah, okay, yeah. Why do you suppose they attacked with something as outdated as HA3? A new version wouldn't be traceable when it was found. And all fingers would point at Malice, the former leader of the junta. Pin the blame on someone else. Okay, right. So it says, this blows my mind. Okay, not this. So you're saying Malice is behind it? Him and whoever leaked the intel about the meeting. I wonder if you're Ghostman. Right. So okay, I have a better understanding of this now. So basically, as they said, like they didn't use a better version because if it was a better version, it would have been untraceable. And if that did, since it's like everyone would point their finger at Malice, since Malice doesn't want that happening, since he's the one or the one who's like leaked the information is doing this, Like, that is why they use this like primitive model which can be traced, like, you know, so that nobody points their finger at him. Okay. Yeah, so now then exactly as they got to know that the cops wanted their route map, he immediately switched to manual and like, you know, decided to quickly go and like warn him. I have to warn that nice guy. Okay, here. They know about the Ghostbreaker. I have to warn that nice guy. Okay, so was he not being blackmailed? I'm so confused about this because I thought she, like, I don't know, like I thought he was being blackmailed because, you know, like his wife was like, so he says like I have to warn that nice guy. Like obviously he goes and like because he was going to warn him. Like why is he calling him nice guy then? If he's not okay. No, I guess he's not being manipulated then. He genuinely he was like, oh, I have to like warn him. He's a nice guy, and he's like, oh, you're in danger. Okay. Anyways, like this part, there's a still section that is kind of confusing me. Like I said, like the whole thing about like, you know, him helping him out, like what was it, like what was it in for him, like why was he like helping him, like that's the question. That's why I thought he was being kind of like blackmailed or something. uh but I guess not. Anyways, all right, so yeah, that's more or less like everything, and then he kind of like shoots it up, and then Motoko then decides to like kind of Togusa gets knocked out, and Motoko like has to follow him now. Anyways, like I talked about like basically the second half of the episode completely. The first half, like there wasn't much to talk about, I guess, because, you know, like we kind of saw what happened at the beginning. Like, you know, like Aramaki kind of decided to take them all in under him, and he also kind of said like, oh, like, you know, this is going to be a paycheck and everything. And Motoko and everyone, they were like, they thought that they were going to just, you know, like, because, you know, she like literally punched that dude, like, you know, that guy, I forgot his, like, you know, what he was. So they were like, yeah, we're going to be like out of here. But then Aramaki comes in and he's like, oh, basically, like, this is what's going on, and you'll be under me. You're going to get this amount of money, this and that. So, yeah. And then obviously they're in like a weird type of a situation because they're now like, all right, like, this is a good deal. And that guy, I don't, like I said, I forgot his name. He he put like fireworks under his car because I guess he thought that, oh, we're done with him. And that's why Motoko's like, oh, when she got to know like he planted fireworks, she was like, oh crap, like this is not good. But Aramaki already knew. He came with a scooter as well. Oh god. Yeah, so he says like, you know, the two piece of news for you. One news is good and the news is bad. Yeah, the budget to form your unit was passed by the National Council. That was a placeholder. Real thing is triple the budget amount you requested. Will be used to create an international rescue unit. That way nobody can say aren't doing anything to help as civilians die. That we're buying peace with cold hard cash. But that's just for public consumption. Budget's 80% is founding capital earmarked to create a shell squad. It will answer only to the prime minister, and I'll be running the show. There you go. It'll be meritocracy with no ranks, units guarding principle will be to seek out crime, nip it in the bud. An organization that will always be on the offensive, the kind that you and I have dreamed of. Yeah, so there you go. Like obviously, like in the previous episode, as we saw, like she wasn't happy with how the thing was going, so she was like, you know what, screw this, like punched the guy, and she was like, yeah, we're getting out of here. And now they're like drinking and everything, and then Aramaki comes in and he's like, oh, by the way, yeah, like this is what's going on actually. Like this will be completely under me, and you'll be like like be reporting to the prime minister, and I will be like guiding you guys. And yeah, 80% of the budget is going to be on the shell squad. uh, Meritocracy, no ranks like that, and the main thing we will be do is taking out the criminals and nipping them in the bud. So this is everything that you and I wanted. How well it does will be up to you and your team. Yeah, got the contracts, and there you go. So now, like obviously, now Motoko's like, okay, this is like this is exactly what I want. Like she and everyone decided to leave because they weren't getting what they wanted, and now this is completely like like, yeah, this is great. And then this dude, he planted fireworks because I'm guessing he thought that, yeah, we're done with this guy, so screw him. Yeah, this means the whole orphanage gone rogue thing was also total bullcrap. Just a sec, guys. Right, I'm back. So yeah, so the orphanage gone rogue thing was also a bull. Yeah, and then the whole fireworks thing. And then Motoko's like, Chief, make sure our paychecks have a lot of zeros. And then we have these guys, like these kids. They are the ones who are like, they're the ones who's like now they're like doing the whole thing with the orphanage. Right. Anyways, so yeah, that was the first section, and then we had the whole section with Malice later on. Mm, yeah, Aramaki comes in, and they're like keeping an eye on him. And then he's like, oh, someone Motoko's on a vacation. At first, I was actually thinking they were like in a tropical, like But I guess I should have realized because the way they were showing that scene was very weird. It was like in a weird, like a fish islands kind of way. When they were showing the boat and everything. And then we have this girl freaking like jump. That part confused me as well. Like, what the hell? Like, then I was like, okay, this is like in like future, super futuristic. Maybe like in these type of days we have like weird ass things like this where you can just float around in the sky. But then I got to know that they're actually in VR. Like not VR, but the whole thing where they go and tap into their brain. That thing. Yeah, and that's why when the other dude tapped into her, like Ghost, I guess that whole section, he also got a hit of all the like the emotions that was going through Motoko, all the endorphins and all that. I can feel it in my stomach. I'm gonna say. Yeah, and there it goes, and that's that. Yeah, and there you go. So okay, there you go. I think I covered most of the stuff. Either way, yeah, I guess like my reaction to these episodes is gonna be like this. Like it'll be the discussion section will be me trying to figure out a lot of things because like so many things like it's just I don't know how to explain this. Like I've watched a lot of shows like where you have to like think a lot to understand, and like so there's so many shows like this, like Monogatari. Then we have like shows like Tatami Galaxy, which is like crazy. Like like the Tatami Galaxy, I remember was like freaking. They were like going in a speed run. The dialogue was speed running itself. Like it's so difficult. Like and you have to like figure out like every single episode. Like sit down. Neon Genesis Evangelion was another show like that where I watched the episode. I had to sit down and properly like kind of like go through each and every part of the dialogue, because while reacting, a lot of things kind of slips your head, like you cannot properly concentrate like on the a lot of things since you have to react as well. So like it's going to be like that, this show as well, because like I cannot pinpoint what is, because the thing with this show is, like I said, I cannot pinpoint it actually, like what is actually troubling me, because the dialogue and everything is very simple. Like they're not like using like yeah, they are using some like jargons and like some words and everything which you have to figure out little by little. Like like I said, for example, I still don't know what the barrier breaker is supposed to be, because they bring it up multiple times but they never really explain what it is. I'm assuming it is something where you can like break the barrier and like like the whole like thing. Anyways, it's not explained either way. Like I'm guessing, like I cannot like pinpoint it, but the even though the dialogue and everything is pretty simple, it is pretty complicated to understand, because like like there's like, I guess the information that they're giving us in one episode is quite a lot, because like at the very beginning we get the whole thing with Malice and they continuously like keep talking about that, and then we have like the next part where we get to see that section where that lady is being hacked by that virus, that whole thing, and then we have the next part where we get to see that garbage truck guy, like like cooperating with the other dude, the hacker dude, and like, and Motoko and the others trying to track him down, so like a lot of information. I guess that's what it is, like a lot of information in 24 minutes. So like, and a lot of the, and it doesn't help when a lot of the terms that they use are also pretty difficult to understand. Like yeah, so it's probably going to be me like in the discussion section trying to figure out what the hell happened in the episode. Most of these episodes is going to be like that, I guess. But anyways, I was able to understand, like after going through the whole thing, I was able to understand it a lot better now, like compared to when I was reacting to it. But there's still a few things here and there that I'm not clear about. Anyways, next episode should probably like clear everything up, because we're still continuing. They're probably going to explain a lot of other things in the next episode as well. So yeah, there you go, that is it. If you guys can, like if there's anything you want to share in the comments, you can let me know. Like if you want to explain something, you can do that. And yeah, so that's it. Thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed, and comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. And that is it. Yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.